Okay, so for our last unit, we decided to try and do something that we thought would be more fun. So the first 2 days, we're gonna kind of prep for our project, because this is a project unit. And we're gonna do like a casino party. And you guys are gonna make homemade casino games that have certain odds of things, and then we're gonna play them on the last day, okay? So it'll be kind of similar to like our board game one when you guys made board games, but it'll be casino games instead. And then I have like a roulette machine and stuff, and we're gonna talk about a lot of like over under odds, what that means, and we just thought it would be more fun than doing like circles or functions or something. So today and next time is kind of prepping, kind of trying to understand probability of things a little bit better. You guys will want a calculator today. We're gonna turn. So before we get going, what I want to do is review how to turn a fraction into a decimal and then into a percent. Okay. So let's say I had 5/13. Okay. So first, go ahead and type that into your calculator and just get me the decimal that corresponds with that. So that's 0.385, right? Because the 6 rounds the 4 up to 5. Okay. Does anyone remember how to convert that decimal to a percent? Yeah, it's like timesing it by 100. The idea is you can move the decimal place over 2 places. So 38.5%. You want to make sure you have the percent sign on the right one, because if I'm like betting on something, if I have a 0.38% chance of it happening versus a 38% chance of it happening, that's a pretty huge difference, right? So the percent is important to go on which one is actually representing the percent. Okay, let's try just one more just to review it. So let's say I had 2/3. So I type that in, I get my decimal rounded to 3 places. And then to turn it into a percent, you take your decimal place and move it over 2. So 66.7%. Is that familiar? Is that good? Okay. This right here, this is our probability formula we're going to be using all class today. So the P stands for probability. So probability of an event happening is the number of favorable outcomes. So that is like what I want to happen over number of possible outcomes. So you'll hear me say a lot today, that's not spelled right. No, right? That looks way weird. Total? No. E-L? A-L? Oh. Winning. Okay. Oh, that looks better. So you'll hear me say a lot today, want over total, want over total. That's what probability is. It's what I want to happen over the total number of possibilities, okay? So let's take a look at the first one. Imagine you're rolling a 6-sided die. So that's just like a normal dice you guys have all seen a bunch of times, right? So how many total possibilities are there if I roll one dice? 6. So then my total is going to be 6. The new packet's over on the counter, Trina. Okay, so what's the probability of rolling a 3? So how many sides on the dice would be favorable if I want a 3? 1. Good. So 1/6 or 0.167 or 16.7%. Are we doing okay? Any questions so far? Okay, so on B, it's a totally different outcome that I want. Okay? Does that mean the probability of it happening is going to be different? Okay, Zach says no. Why, Zach?
Because you're still only looking for one side.
Good. There's still only one side that works. That's perfect. So it's still 1 is what I want, and 6 is the total. So that's going to, again, be the 16.7% chance. We're doing okay so far? Any questions? Okay, so let's review this symbol here On C, it's the capital U. All right, so I'm just gonna write it down here at the bottom where there's a little more space. So this is the or symbol. It means I can have either outcome is favorable. Versus, you'll see this one, that's called the and symbol. Means both outcomes have to happen at the same time. So take a second and write those down, and then we'll try some probabilities with those. Okay. Okay, so the first one on C is the or symbol. So either outcome is favorable. So that means on C, when I roll the dice, I'm happy if I get a 2 or a 3. It doesn't have to be both of them, right? Could it be both of them? What do you think? Could I roll a 2 and a 3?
Yeah.
One dice, one roll.
Oh, no.
No. So if I have one dice and one roll, okay. Hey, Maya, do you want to put your watch away or just ignore it for a while? Okay. So if I could roll a 2 or a 3, right, and I win, okay, how many possible favorable outcomes are there? 2. The 2 or the 3, right? And then it's still over my total 6. So then convert that to a percentage for me. Okay, let's jump to E. So E, notice the U is the opposite way. So that's our and symbol that I had you write down. So one dice, one roll. Can I roll both a 3 and a 4 at the same time? No. So that one would be 0 out of 6. Does that make sense? Is there any questions so far? No? 2 people told me no. Everyone else just stared blankly into space. So, cool. I get ignored enough from my 2-year-old. Okay. Just trying to make people laugh. We're good? Maya, Jake, good? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Regina, Alexis, good? Any questions so far? Good? Regina? It's okay if you're not, but you gotta ask me now. What part is confusing?
For C, how did you get 66.7%?
Did you understand where the 2 over 6 came from?
Yeah.
Okay, so you type that into your calculator and you get 0.667. And then to turn a decimal into percent, you move the decimal place over 2.
I think it's
I keep getting,
Oh, good catch. You're right. I typed in 2 over 3, not 2 over 6. See, that's why I need you guys to ask questions. You catch my mistakes. You are correct.
It's early.
33.3%.
That's what I got to
And everyone said, no, we're good. Keep moving on.
Well, I wrote down 33.
Oh, you just ignored it completely on the board. I love being ignored. Yeah.
for C, we could do 3 over 6, right?
3 over 6. No, so this is what was confusing some people. yesterday is because that they thought this two and this two were related. So let me explain it like this way. It'll make more sense why it has to be 2 over 6. So this is like me taking a dice and showing all 6 of its sides, right? The reason this is a 2 has nothing to do with that 2. It's because if I can have a 2 or a 3, that's 2 possibilities that work. So even if this had been probability of 1 or 4, my answer still would have been 2 over 6. Does that make sense? Good. See, these are great questions. What else you got? Anything else? Anything else? Good? Everything's cleared up now? Okay. Let's go back to D. How many odd numbers are on the dice? So how many favorable outcomes if I'm looking for the probability of rolling an odd number? 1. Oh, try again. 3 out of 6. So that would be 50%. So 1, 3, or 5 are odd. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions before we review the last notation? Do you guys mean it this time? No questions? Okay. Oh, good. I got a lot more answers that time. I believe you. Okay. So do you see on F, this one has this little apostrophe there, right? Okay, so that means something. It's not a typo. It means something, okay? So the apostrophe is it's called the not symbol. So what that means is everything but that outcome. So think of it like everything that's not that, or the opposite of that. Okay, so here, I'm asking for the probability of rolling anything except a 2. Anything that's not a 2. Okay, does that make sense? So everything that's not a 2. So if there's 6 sides on a dice, how many sides are not a 2? 5. Good. So this would be 5/6. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to draw out the 6 dice sides again. For G, it just helps it make more sense. Okay, so that's our or symbol. So it says anything that's a 2 or not a 3. So it doesn't have to be both, it's one or the other, okay? So let me ask you this. Is 1 the number 2 or not a 3? Is 1, 2, or not a 3? Yeah, it's not a 3. It's not 2, but it doesn't have to be both, right? So that one would work. So is this one 2 or not a 3?
Are we talking about?
We're on G.
Okay.
So is 2 the number 2 or not the number 3? Yes. So we're looking for the probability of rolling the number 2 or any number but 3. So what I'm asking is 1 the number 2? No. But is it or not the number 3? Yeah, so that one worked. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go to this one. Is this one a 2 or not 3? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
So it's not 2 and it's not 3?
It's 3.
It's 3, so that one's not going to work. Okay, is this one the number 2 or not the number 3?
It's not 2.
It's not 2. but it's also not 3, and we want not 3. What about 5?
It works.
Works. And 6?
Also works.
Yeah. H is too easy. I want to try another one like the one we just did, because I think we could use the practice of it. So we're going to do this. Okay, so change it to that and we'll go through it. So this one is different because it's the and symbol. So it needs to be both of those things, okay? So I want the number I roll to be not a 4 and not a 5 at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay, so is this one here not a 4 and not a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that works. Okay, is this one not a 4 and not a 5? Okay, so that one works. What about the next one?
Yes.
Okay. But it's not a 5. But it also has to be not a 4. You're right, so that one's not going to work.
Wait, if instead of saying and, if it said or, would all of them work?
Look at that. We're going to do that one next. Good question. So we'll just kind of do it at the same time. So if we were going to do that, what Zach said, would the 4 work? If it said not 4 or not 5,
Yeah, I believe 4 would work.
4 would work.
5.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be both at the same time. It can be one or the other, right? So this one is going to end up being 4 out of 6. But this one would have been 6 out of 6, 100%. Make sense? Cool. Okay, we're going to try probabilities again, but with a different situation, just to make sure we have it down. So this one would have been the one I got on the other page. So we're going to do a deck of cards next.